All right, perfect, man. So number one, thank you for coming on here. You've been
Of
in the
course.
mentorship now for like 4 months, and just gonna ask you essentially just a few questions
Hmm.
on your experience, on your journey of becoming a profitable trader. And right off the bat, for anybody watching this, they don't know who you are. So I guess if you can just introduce yourself, what got you into trading, and when did you actually start trading, and kind of your journey when during those initial stages.
Yeah, sure. So I'm 42 years old. I've always been interested in kind of finance. Early on, I would say early 2000s, I had my Series 7. I was a licensed stockbroker, got out of the business. And I would say, like, within the last 2 years, trading became an interest for me. I had one of my friends who started trading. And then from there, I had joined up with another mentor. Kind of went through the motions with him, um, and I found myself, very inconsistent with my trading. There wasn't, there was really no consistency. And I would say around August is when I saw one of your TikToks, and I really enjoyed and liked the way that you presented yourself and presented the mentorship. I signed up initially with the university, started going through the university and really took towards the setups, and everything that you were teaching in the university. And then I signed up for the mentorship. And really, that's when my trading kind of went to a different level. Really being able to trade with you on an everyday basis, seeing those setups live and in person. I was able to, really put the whole picture together. And I would say, I signed up for the mentorship in September. I would say, like, towards the end of October, beginning of November is when things really started to click for me. I started seeing the setups for myself. Things started becoming really clear, and that's when I started really seeing the results.
hmm Yeah, that's insane. So beginning of September, so you're saying you started seeing, I remember the first like really good results end of
Mhm.
October. I mean, that's still 2 months.
Yeah.
Beginning of your third month, you started seeing crazy results. I think it did help that you came in at least with some experience, right?
Mm.
But still like 2 to 3 months is that's really on like out of all my students, like really on the quicker
Mm.
end of, essentially what that's like 40 trading days. You really picked it up. Yeah, no, it's really impressive. And if you could talk about kind of like your actual results in terms of, once it started to click, how did your profits scale? And maybe talk about kind of like how it was in those first 2 months and then
Mm.
how those results really started to progress.
Yeah, and I mean, in the first couple of months, I was seeing, I was really experimenting with the setups. And I was seeing, $100 days, $200 days. And I think it was when I really started becoming more comfortable with my risk tolerance,
hmm
and understanding the risk tolerance is um, when I really started seeing the exponential profits. And it wasn't a gradual increase. When it happened, it was exponential. I went from 100 to $200 days to 2,000, 3,000, $4,000 days. And that was, consistent. I would say in November I did a touch over $65,000 in profits, which is life changing for me. I got into trading because I wanted a better lifestyle for my family. I have a 2.5-year old. I have another one on the way, and I was working a 9 to 5, 6-figure job, but it just, I wanted more for my family. And just seeing that progression in November, I had the ability to really leave my job. I felt comfortable in my trading that I was able to quit my job and do it full time. And I think when I made that decision is when everything started to really come together.
hmm Yeah, no, that's insane. Honestly, just like as your, mentor, you starting out, just proud of you, bro. Like that's
Thank
unreal results. Like, and yeah, I think it just goes to show that you took a massive risk where, you're in your 40s, like you have children as well. You
you.
took that massive risk and like it ended up paying off in a huge way. And I think you made a really good point that with trading, the results are really not linear, where for you they were literally like exponential. For
Mhm.
you it's kind of going like this, and then boom, once it starts to just click. And for you it clicked super quickly. In terms of, obviously you on barely have struggled recently just because you've been
Mhm.
doing so well, but during those first 2 months, what do you think was the biggest kind of hurdle? You mentioned the risk management. What do you think was the biggest challenge and hurdle in your trading? And maybe if you could touch on like, even you mentioned the consistency before you joined the mentorship,
Mhm.
right? Was that the same kind of hurdle in the beginning? And how would you say that I kind of helped that process and overcome that hurdle in the beginning?
So the mentor that I was working with, and I think a big part of the inconsistency was that he was almost dangling the carrot. He wouldn't share the setups, and so I would kind of make sense of what he was doing, but didn't see the full picture because he wasn't fully explaining everything.
Mm-hmm.
But with with the university, the setups are there. The playbook is there. And I think for myself, putting in the time and studying and really fully understanding all the setups was a game changer. And I think that's why I became so consistent, because that was the missing piece.
Mm-hmm.
The missing piece was really understanding the setups, understanding risk management, and that's what really added to creating consistent results for myself. I would say in the beginning, the biggest hurdle that I had was really trusting myself. Um, Once I started to really become confident in myself and my abilities, because doing it for almost a year with the other mentor, and seeing inconsistent results, I started to lose faith in myself. And once working with you, once things started to become more consistent, I was able to gain that trust in myself, and proof is in the pudding.
Mm-hmm. No, that definitely makes sense. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they think about like day trading, they think of like inconsistencies where you can like make money one day and then you don't
Mm,
make any money the other day. But I feel like in November, and I'm sure this December too, this December has been a little bit tougher, where
it
like
has been.
November was crazy. So um, in November, I think you probably did you have were you straight green all of November?
I was straight green all of November. Yes, I
Got
did
it.
not have one losing day.
And even in December now, so this is like your fourth month in the program essentially.
Mm,
Yeah, September. Yeah. So in December, it's been definitely a tougher trading environment, and that's what a lot of people don't understand about trading is that you could have a different environment from day to day, week to week,
mhm.
but like you said, you learn the setups, and once you know the setups, you adapt to the environment. And you could still make money. And December has been tough. And
It
how have
has
you?
been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's December has been a real learning lesson for myself, because November we really had a lot of great setups, a lot of great opportunities there for us, and I was able to capitalize on that. December has been a different animal because we've had a lot of slow trading days, a lot of tough trading days, and I had my first couple of red days, in over a month, in December. And what I really had to learn was that, it's okay to sit on your hands and not do anything. And I think those 2 days where I had those red days, I finished in the red, I wasn't sitting on my hands. I was trying to make something out of nothing.
Hmm.
So, there still is, there's a lot of learning that I still have to do. But, like I said, the environment, it's all about the environment.
Yeah, no, 100%. And with trading, it's just inevitable. Eventually, you're gonna have a red day here and there. It's
Mhm.
just a part of the game. Like it's crazy to expect straight green days, but I feel that especially in the mentorship, on all the days that it's tough, I feel like all of the students they progress even more on the slower days because when everything is like green, everything is good, there's a lot of ideas, you can make mistakes and kind of like not really care because there's just so many opportunities. But in December,
Yeah.
this month it was slow, and I feel like on the slower days is when, all the students, I think even including yourself, where you feel like probably you took even more steps in your trading by learning
Hmm.
through those like struggles.
Yeah, and it's what's great is that through with the mentorship, we're able to converse back and forth.
Hmm.
I can relate. If I hear somebody in the chat, talk about their struggles with trading, I can relate to something that somebody else is talking about and know that I'm not alone in that. We kind of all learn together, and I think that's a really huge strength when it comes to the group, because I feel like we all pick each other up when we do have slow days or if somebody's having a bad day. It's and I think that's a big strength for the group itself.
Yeah, no, 100%. Couple more questions. Do you know how much you've made in total since you joined in the mentorship?
Since I joined in the mentorship, it's a so 65, so it's about 95,000.
95,000 in essentially
Yes.
3 months. Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
amazing. Plus, the first like you had that huge November. I'm sure over time here, like you're going to replicate those big months,
Mhm.
so that average is going to go up. And then that's incredible. And next question: do you think you're going to trade for the rest of your life, or is this something kind of shorter term? I'm assuming probably long term though.
No, it's long term. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's something that I've always been interested in. Like I said, early on, in my 20s, I was a stockbroker, and I really loved doing that. But yes, this is something that I see myself doing long term. Absolutely.
Awesome. And final question for you is what was your favorite part about the mentorship? And then if someone was considering joining the mentorship
Mm.
and you had to say something to that person, what would you say to them?
My favorite part of the mentorship is the camaraderie within the group. My favorite, is being live every day. Um, I think the fact that you're trading live from 9:30 to 4 o'clock, and we're able to see that trading happen. I think you're not getting that anywhere else. There's no other mentorship out there where you're getting that, and I think that is a big reason for my success, and others in the group success. Um, and if I had to, say something to somebody who's willing to join is, this is it's life changing for me. This is no joke. This has absolutely changed my life. Um, and for anyone who's kind of on the edge of making a decision, whether to join, whether not to join. Um, you could take it from myself is that this is absolutely life changing, and I would make this decision every single day of the week. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, mentoring you as well because I wasn't even expecting those type of results. Like even for me, like hearing that, like it took me, I mean, a few years to get
Hmm.
to, a 65K month in a single month. So I think also you naturally just picked it up. Like you combine I feel like natural abilities plus like the mentorship, like and it just was the perfect match. And like you just
Hmm.
exploded, which like, as a, because, I'm passionate about the group, passionate about mentoring everyone. Like it's just spectacular. Your results, truly, it's like a
Thank you.
pleasure seeing you succeed. And like honestly, like it's heartwarming to hear that, like those words, because like you have a child, like it's your family. It's not like,
Hmm.
oh, like Yuri, he's seen amazing results, but he's 18. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
have you have way more on the line, which
Hmm.
it's I love to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's allowing me to put more money in my daughter's 529 plan. It's allowing me to, do more things for my family. It's legitimately life changing, and for any age, for anybody's age, I would just, it's been an absolute blessing. It truly has been a blessing.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to we're gonna be trading for a long, long time
Yeah.
together. So we'll make. Plus, I'm expecting. I think the first 3 months of the new year are gonna be really huge too. I think with
Mhm.
the inauguration plus earning season is coming up. I'm really
Yes.
excited to see. how you finish those first 3 months. Especially
That's
you've become like a scalp god, honestly. So awesome, man. Well, thank
yeah.
you, for doing the
No, I
interview, man.
appreciate it.
All right, awesome, man. Yeah.